Do you believe in curses? It's a loaded question, but I'll tell you what, I don't believe in coincidences. From the moment Kyrie stomped on the Boston Celtics' logo 3 years ago, everything has been downhill since. Injuries, gut-wrenching losses, off-court issues, getting dropped by Nike, and a finals loss to the team he abandoned and disrespected not so long ago. Is Kyrie Irving cursed, or is this just one big coincidence? It was May 31st, 2021, Game 4, Round 1 of the playoffs. Kyrie was back in Boston for the third time since he ditched the Celtics in free agency, a parting of ways that created one of the most toxic relationships between a player and a fan base that I've seen in the world of sports. Hence, the constant booing every time he touched the ball.
Chorus of boos every time he touches the ball. Irving lets it fly. Count it for three.
Kyrie thrived on the toxicity. He dropped 39 points in a blowout win to take a 3-1 series lead over Boston. He got the final laugh that night. While dapping up his teammates at midcourt, Kyrie deliberately stepped all over Lucky like he was trying to scrape gum off the bottom of his shoe. Lucky, of course, is the Celtics' logo, the infamous leprechaun spinning a basketball on his finger with a pipe in his mouth. He was created by Zhang Auerbach, brother of legendary Celtics head coach Red Auerbach, who won 9 championships in a span of 10 seasons with the team. It goes without saying that the little leprechaun has a touch of luck in him.
5 seconds remaining. Bradley bounces home. 1/10 of a second remaining.
I guess that leprechaun does travel because the way this ball stayed up on the rim right here, look at the backspin.
But when he gets disrespected, Lucky can seemingly summon bad voodoo on an individual, causing a string of unfortunate events that can only be defined as a curse. Mere moments after Kyrie's stomp, he was nearly hit in the head by a water bottle thrown by a Celtics fan. Coincidence? It was just a taste of what was about to come. After beating the Celtics in 5, Kyrie and the Nets faced the Bucks, where he'd unfortunately land on Giannis's foot in Game 4, missing the remainder of the series with a severe right ankle sprain. And in Game 7 of that series, Kevin Durant's foot was just an inch too long. A 3 would have won the series, but a 2 forced the game into overtime, where the Nets would ultimately lose. It was just bad luck. The following season, Kyrie had some off-court issues, missing 52 games and a truckload of money. He did eventually return as a part-time player, just in time to get swept by the Boston Celtics in the first round of the playoffs. How fitting. That summer, he opted into his contract and demanded to be traded, preferably to the Lakers. And you probably guessed it, no trade came together. During the 2022-23 season, Kyrie would post a controversial video on Instagram and a link to an anti-Semitic movie on Twitter. This did not go over well. The Nets would suspend Irving for 8 games without pay, and a month later, Nike ended their decade-long relationship with Kyrie, canceling the release of his new shoes. And this was just the beginning. Irving would once again demand a trade in February of 2023, with his eyes set once again on the Lakers. His dreams did not come true. He was sent to Dallas to make a push for the playoffs, and they weren't even able to make it to the play-in game. Nothing was going this dude's way. It was a wild couple of years for Kyrie before some good fortune swung his way. He and the Mavericks caught fire in the final quarter of this season, finishing as the 5th seed headed into the postseason, where they'd continue to work their magic. They beat the Clippers, then the Thunder, then the Timberwolves, as Kyrie played a crucial role in getting himself back in the NBA Finals for the first time in 7 years. Things were finally starting to look up. Until they weren't. Like some sick, twisted fantasy, Kyrie would have to play his former team and that smirking leprechaun for a chance at a championship. And despite some solid games at home, Kyrie's struggles would prove fatal. falling to the team he insulted just a few years ago, as Lucky watched his Celtics be crowned NBA champions once again. Call it a curse or call it a coincidence, but from the moment Kyrie spitefully stomped on Lucky, his basketball career has been plagued by misfortune and constant setbacks, as if the man was truly jinxed. And it's been noticeably obvious when he's up against Boston.
You may have noticed that the finals will start in a place where you used to play, in Boston.
You guys will have me back. I plan on re-signing here next year.
Whoa!
Somebody's gonna call me out of my name. I'm gonna look at them straight in the eye and see if they really doubt it. Most of the time, they're not.
Attacking off the drive.
Irving shot blocked. Jaylen Brown, a defensive demon. Irving throws it away. Irving blocked by Porzingis. Banner number 18 has been secured. The Celtics are NBA champions.
Prior to the stomp, Kyrie had the upper hand on the Celtics. In 34 matchups, he was 24-10, averaging 24 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists on top-tier efficiency with an average game score of 18.8. Those games included an 8-1 record during the postseason and a playoff career-high 42 points in the Eastern Conference Finals. Irving owned Boston.
Standing ovation from this crowd.
Oh,
There's
no.
Irving going behind the back. He has a career playoff.
But his bitter act towards Lucky changed everything. In 16 matchups since the stomp, Kyrie has gone 2-14 against the Celtics, containing a streak of 13 consecutive losses, averaging fewer points, fewer assists, with a significant drop in field goal and three-point percentage. The dude is jinxed. In fact, Kyrie is 0-8 in Boston since the stomp, as his numbers get even worse when Lucky is in the building. And it was on full display during the NBA Finals. At home, he averaged 28, 3 and 4 on efficiency that we're used to seeing from Kyrie. But in the Garden, he's just a whole different player, averaging 14 points, 2 rebounds, and 5 assists on Dillon Brooks type efficiency. It's shocking. I truly believe there's some type of curse on Kyrie. Everything that's happened since the incident has been a never-ending cycle of struggle that honestly doesn't even seem real. And like a true storybook ending, it led him back to Boston for the NBA Finals, where Lucky delivered his hardest punch yet. Game 1 was a nightmare for Kyrie. He was hitting the side of the backboard, missing wide-open looks, making ill-advised passes, and dribbling the ball off his foot as if he was possessed. Watching the most skilled basketball player of our time make such simple, foolish mistakes was eye-opening. It was not the Kyrie Irving that we were used to seeing. He finished the game with 12 points on 6 of 19 from the field and 0 for 5 from 3, totaling a game score of 1.6, one of the worst performances he's ever had. In fact, here is every single playoff game of Kyrie's career relative to game score. For reference, a game score of 40 is viewed as an exceptional performance. 10 is average, so we can assume that a mark of 15 is a good performance. And anything below that is straight up dog shit. Here's his 42-point game against Boston that we talked about earlier, and his 41-point masterpiece in Game 5 of the 2016 NBA Finals with a game score of 33.2. But Game 1 of these finals puts him all the way down here. The third worst performance of his playoff career and the 14th worst of his entire career. It's pretty bad, but it gets worse. That is every game, regular season, and playoffs that Kyrie's had against Boston since he disrespectfully stomped on Lucky. And the ones in gold are from these finals. There's no other way to put it. The man is cursed. There was no doubt that Kyrie and the Celtics were going to be rivals for the way he departed the team in 2019. The constant taunting, trash-talking, and straight-up disrespect culminated into an act that is seen by many as the pinnacle of hatred towards another team. Whether it's a curse or a coincidence, Kyrie's career has been a downward spiral since, leaving us with the belief that the little leprechaun might have something to do with it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.